I'm Catherine Lynette Young. I'm the course coordinator for the Bachelor program. Lovely to see you all here, whether you are here for your first year of Masters or your first year of Bachelor studies. It's lovely to have so many of you in the room with us, to see you face to face, and that's why we thought we'd have everybody here to have a bit of a hello. Okay. So let's do a pass the microphone maybe.
Why don't we do an acknowledgement of country first, and then we can do it when the slides come up.
Lovely.
Do you reckon?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Would you like to lead?
So, first of all, as Tim has pointed out, it will be really good to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country that we are meeting on today. We're on Kaurna country, which for those of you as international students who are new to Australia, you will learn more about that. This country belongs to the Aboriginal people of Australia. It always has. It always was Aboriginal country. It always indeed will be, because sovereignty has never been ceded. But the particular nation who own this country are the Kaurna people. And the beautiful lands, waters, skies that we get to enjoy. And I thank them for their care of country for so many tens of thousands of years prior to colonisation. So I'd like to also pay my respects and all of our respects to elders of the Kaurna Nation, past and present. So now
we're going to talk a little bit about how incredibly well timed you people are. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tim.
You have joined us at a momentous time. The Flinders University Speech Pathology program is 50 years old, which means that this is the 50th time that we've had a bit of a crack at this, and every single time that we do it, we continue to improve. So you're a part of history, which is kind of exciting, really. The 50th year for us marks a time when we're going to be providing lots and lots of things online, and we're really starting to think a little bit about the way in which artificial intelligence is being used. So congratulations. We've had 50 goes at this. You're our 50th go at it. You are in incredibly safe hands. And we're looking forward to teaching you. And there'll be lots and lots of events that will talk to you about the 50th year as we start. This is us. All of us here at the moment. And what we will do is we will go in turn and introduce ourselves. Megan, I wonder if you wouldn't mind going first. Maybe just tell you a little bit about who you teach, your area of practice, and maybe if you could do Becca as well while you're there.
Yes, of course. So hello everyone, my name is Megan and I am a teaching lecturer and teaching specialist here in the speech pathology team. So unfortunately, I won't get to work a lot with you in first year for both bachelors and masters, but certainly I'll catch up with you when you head into your second year for bachelor and also second year for masters. So we'll come back together next year together we'll work through some of the fluency content and then back again in third year to work through our clinical skills topics in the adult area, where we'll cover a range of different areas really. So we'll have dementia, apraxia, swallowing, and we'll cover kind of everything in between in that topic and practice some really hands-on skills. And then I'll see you again in your fourth year when you have your senior placement, so your rosters 3 and 4, which I know probably feel like light years away, but I'm sure it will come up very, very quickly. So we'll work together and I'll support you through that process when you get there also. From the master's perspective, I also probably won't see you a lot in first year. I do a little bit of ad hoc teaching, doing some fluency, so working through stuttering with you this year, but we'll come back and revisit that content again in second year, so next year, where we'll come back to a clinical skills topic where we'll cover things like fluency, aphasia, swallowing, so similar to the bachelors, and I'll also support you through your third and fourth roster placements next year. So that will probably come up, that will feel like this year will fly, I'm sure, and will come up very quickly. So that's, I guess, me and my teaching. So largely looking at fluency and also some swallowing there. Thinking about Rebecca, so she's sitting next to me there on the slide. So Rebecca has just finished her PhD in motor neuron disease, so MND, looking at MND and cognition. And I know that she apologises for not being able to be here today. She's unwell, but I'm sure she's really excited and looking forward to catching up with you when she's back on deck. So you'll definitely meet her this year. She takes the anatomy content for the bachelor's this year in your first year for speech pathology, and also does some kind of ad hoc teaching in the motor speech area for the masters in your first year. So thinking about dysarthria and apraxia. Certainly she'll meet the second years again for bachelor. Sorry, I'm jumping between bachelors and masters. For the bachelors, she'll definitely meet you again in second year to have a look at some of those motor speech topics, and we teach that topic together. So again, looking at dysarthria, fluency or stuttering, and apraxia, and practicing some hands-on skills in that area. But I'm sure Beck is very excited to meet you when she's back on board, hopefully next week.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Who's next?
I don't know. Like, if we go in line,
Should I choose or no? Okay, I'm just.
It's Caitlin next, but I just don't want to miss anyone.
Hi everyone, lovely to meet you. I'm Caitlin. Much like Megan, I'm a teaching specialist here in the speech team. I mostly teach within the bachelors, so I'm a topic coordinator for some of the bachelors in the third year, but I do a little bit of teaching in first and second, so you might see me around for a little bit. But we'll be spending quite a lot of time together in third year, so I will be supporting you through some of your placement topics and also my sort of area of interest, which is paediatric disability and inclusion, and also sort of paediatric swallowing and assistive technology. In terms of the masters, I might see you a little bit in sort of first year and second year, but not too much. Sort of I do a little bit of teaching here and there. But I look forward to getting to know all of you over the next couple of years, and welcome to uni.
Nice. And who wants to talk about Baltrode? Who knows it best?
Yeah, I can.
Anne does. Go for it.
Hi, my name is Anne. I'll talk about me first, and then I'll introduce Hi, my name is Anne, and I'm a linguist in the team, so my area is probably language. And you'll all be meeting me first semester, first year. For the bachelor, I will also be meeting you second semesters, second year as well, in the topics related to language, phonetics, and also research method in speech path. For the masters, I will be meeting you mostly first year, first semester, and then features on just one tiny lectures in second year. Second semester, first year.
Not long in length, but mighty. Let's just put that out there, because it's always about bilingualism or multilingualism in speech pathology, so it's a very important topic.
Thanks, Catherine. And I'd like to also introduce Valthart. She is a lecturer in anatomy and physiology. So for masters, you will be meeting her first year, first semesters as well. And then I believe she also teaches in second years for the bachelor. Second semester for the bachelor.
Skip to me. I feel like it's skipped to me. Hi everyone. Welcome. It's so exciting seeing a new crop. And I don't say that, I say that very meaningfully, because I've been in this business for a while, and I actually trained at Flinders, so I think probably most of us did. So welcome. My passion area is voice, so I'll be teaching that to second years in bachelor, and it'll be second semester, first year for masters, but there are cases across the master's curriculum related to voice, so that's kind of my area. But I'm also really interested in things like therapeutic communication and how we can bring in counselling skills and support. And I am what's called a teaching research academic, so I do some research. So I've got lots of projects on the go, looking at things like advanced scope of practice and therapeutic communication and voice, supporting Paige with her project, so she can talk about that. I love curriculum. I love working with students. I have currently a role that I'm working at the college level, so I'm not as kind of present here at the moment, but I'm certainly contactable. Email, hi, just go, yeah, I'm a speech student, jump out at me. One of my speech students is at the pool that I go to, so, you know, usually that is quite fun. So yeah, welcome, and this is a great team.
Sure is.
Oh, Seb. Okay, Seb. So Seb and I do some tandem teaching. So he teaches the swallowing component for the bachelors. So I do the voice component, he does the swallowing component. He has a lot of expertise in swallowing and the biomechanics of swallowing. He actually makes it sound interesting.
I wish you taught me.
He's currently our Dean Education, so he has a role at the college level that oversees all the teaching programs. And you're actually, speech pathology is one of 14 disciplines in this college, so it's a big role, but he's doing a really fantastic job at that. But he loves teaching and he loves research, so I'm sure he will be able to contribute where he can. And I think there's probably some neuroanatomy type lectures that the masters have with Seb. Really approachable guy, and I know that he would be saying welcome. Yeah.
I'm the next picture. Hi everyone, great to see you all. So I'm also a teaching and research academic, but I topic coordinate in first semester for first year bachelors, so I'll be seeing you very, very soon, and we'll be looking into, it'll be your first sort of introduction to the clinical skills of a speech pathologist and all the different areas that we broadly work in as well. So very excited to meet you all and work with you this semester. I'll meet you again hopefully in third year, and we will look at just some more sort of complex things working with adults in a range of areas. You might have sort of heard some terms that you maybe weren't really familiar with, but you will be familiar with them by then. In the Masters, I do teach into an interprofessional rehabilitation topic, which is actually run with other disciplines. So the Master's students will actually work together with OTs, physios, and exercise physiology students, all students, looking at how we actually work as a team interprofessionally as well, and that's a really great topic I love to teach into as well. So yeah, just really looking forward to working with you all. And Rachel.
Hello, I'm Rachel. I'm another lecturer and teaching specialist. You'll see a lot of me this year. I teach you across first and second semester. So I have a background in psychology. So the first, come on in.
Come on down. All good. Just come.
Plenty
and
of
find a
seats at the
spot.
front.
Oh yes, there's plenty at the front.
Anyway, as I was saying, I have a bachelor degree in psychology, so I teach the psychosocial aspects of speech pathology, so how we can use psychology in our speech pathology. And then in the second semester, we talk about across the lifespan and child development. And then masters don't see me very much, but if you have a placement in acute dysphagia, then you'll see me for clinical sim in second year. And I also teach into the Bachelor of Allied Health, which is our degree that we teach out in Port Pirie, Greater Green Triangle and the Riverland. So that's a new course we've got going, but you'll be studying alongside people in the country, which is exciting. And Jane.
Hello everyone, I'm Jane. Before I came to academia, I was a health promotion practitioner. So I teach inquiry-based learning in our master's program and our research stream, heavily focused on evidence-based practice. I get to have the very first lecture for the master's students on Monday morning, so I'm really looking forward to seeing all the master's students then. Just so you know, if you do see me at Sturt, that is me. I do also teach in the Bachelor of Health Sciences, so you might see me popping up there in previous years, so I might be a familiar face, or if you're hanging out over that side of town, you might see me there as well.
Cool. Hi everyone, my name is Paige and I am a teaching specialist and clinical practitioner here. So I primarily work with the master's students. Unfortunately, the bachelor students I don't really have any contact with unless you complete a placement with me in your third or fourth year. So currently I'm topic coordinator of the 9123 topic, which is all around inquiry-based learning. So we will see a lot of each other this semester and next semester, where we'll work really closely and go through some cases together, engage in really collaborative peer learning. And so I love that topic. And so I'm really excited to introduce you to that starting on Monday. I also am a clinical educator, so 1 day a week I work at Findon High School and run a placement out of there where we work with adolescents with language and literacy difficulties. So that started a couple of years ago and is now doing really, really well. So I might see some of you on that placement sometime in the future. And then, as Jane alluded to, I'm also completing my PhD. So on my day off, I work on looking at voice care for teaching professionals, and I'm hoping to develop a program in that space. I teach a little bit across, but I primarily am sort of involved in the tutoring of the inquiry-based learning. So you might see me pop up in random lectures here and there. But yeah, that's me.
All right. Jo.
That's me. Hi everyone, I'm Jo Murray. I am a teaching specialist here at Flinders University. Can I get a show of hands? Who of us are speech pathologists? So most of us are. You'll see that you've got some specialty lecturers in research and in linguistics and in anatomy, but most of us are speech pathologists. And in fact, I think most of us trained here. Yep. So we're part of that 50-year history and we're very proud of it. Can I get an idea, just show your hand if you're a master's student coming into the program? I know you'll probably do this in a minute, but I just want to have an idea. And how many are commencing bachelor students? Brilliant, so about half. Well, welcome again. So I'm the academic lead of the speech pathology programs at Flinders University with my brilliant leadership team. So we're really looking at the quality of the curriculum and making sure that you graduate from accredited courses as absolutely wonderful, top-notch speech pathologists. So that includes the master's program, the bachelor program, and something you'll find out about in a little while is about the Bachelor of Speech Pathology Honours program that is available to you after second year. And as Rachel said, also overseeing the Bachelor of Allied Health that's now out in our regions, producing hopefully a new regional workforce to support the communication and swallowing needs of people outside of the metropolitan area, which is really exciting for the first time. So my specialty area of teaching is really acquired language disorders or aphasia, perhaps after stroke or with dementia. But I have a lot of wonderful colleagues who do a lot of that content now as well. So I've kind of segued more into the research topics. So I see you more at the sort of the other end of your degrees. Perhaps more in the bachelor research topic or in the honours programs. But I will see you in between for aphasia workshops and so on, perhaps in more like third year or second year for masters. I have a PhD and my research is in the area of dysphagia, which is swallowing, and oral health. So that's the kind of work I'm doing in that space as well. So I cover a few different areas, but mostly in that adult space. So, yeah, that's me. Nice to meet you all and welcome.
Catherine, you're next.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Joy. So yes, as I've mentioned, I'm Catherine and I'm the course coordinator of the Bachelor program. Yes, I trained here at Flinders. Coming up just a year behind Joel when we finished. So we're into our fourth decade of being speech pathologists, and I'm also a teaching specialist, clinical practitioner. My area of practice has been in early childhood, working with families who've experienced significant levels of disadvantage and trauma. So, in the last couple of years, I've been working with Speech Pathology Australia on developing our first guidelines for speech pathologists nationally around working with people across the lifespan who have experienced trauma in their lives, which is many people, have that aspect as part of their history. So you will see me teaching you about relational practice. Well, all of us will talk about relational practice in one way or another, as in connecting genuinely with the people that we want to support. You will also hear from me around early developmental history tied in with attachment patterns and attachment and how that impacts on us throughout the lifespan. And I'll also be working with you as master's students in the rehab topic that Kat mentioned, as I'm one of the facilitators of our cultural responsiveness workshops that you do in that topic in second year. I'm very passionate about developing our skills as staff and for students around cultural safety and culturally responsive practices. Welcome, come on in. Come and find a seat. You don't need to stand up the back. It's all good. We're all becoming friends here. Come on in. So early childhood, working with children and their families, primarily under 5 years of age, has been my passion. I teach you in both masters and bachelors. Bachelors in second year, you'll see me more in teaching speech and language, communication development, assessment, therapy topics. Tim and I do a double act around that. So master's students, you'll definitely hear from us in first semester. That's probably enough. Oh, I'm also a psychodrama trainee in looking at how I can use the development of my role training certification that I'm heading towards within my teaching. So,
that's
next.
Me. That's me next. Hi, I'm Tim. If you're a master's student, apologies, I have bombarded you with so many emails. Hopefully they've been helpful for you. We're really, really excited to have you here. I'm so excited because it's my first year course coordinating the masters, so I want to do it right. So please don't hesitate to make contact with me if there's anything that you have some questions about. And that goes for the bachelor students as well. As Catherine has said, she and I co-teach together incredibly well. Catherine's area and my area are both in paediatric, that 0 to 18 years. We complement each other incredibly well because areas that I really, really love are somewhat different to areas that Catherine really, really loves, but we sort of merge together and share ideas, which is kind of cool. As Catherine was saying, for the first year masters, you'll see an awful lot of me. I'll teach into a topic, which I'll tell you a little bit about a little bit later on, so you'll see loads and loads of me. Bachelors, you get a bit of a year off, and I get to see you in second year when you've sort of been indoctrinated into this amazing thing. My whole reason for being is actually working within clinics. And so I do work in clinic on a Saturday. I like to practice what it is I preach. A lot of people here actually work within private practices too as well. So really, really hands-on skills. My areas that really, really interest and drive me are adolescent language and language disorder and autism and neurodivergence and the sorts of social communication skills that are kind of done. So you're in fantastic hands with all of these people, but leaving the best until last.
Oh, God. Hi, I'm Claire. I'm your placement education coordinator. I'm also a teaching specialist and a speech pathologist. My area of interest is stroke and adult rehab, and so I do a lot of teaching with Jo in the acquired language space. So bachelor students, you will see a lot of me in third year. And master's students, I kind of drop in and out a bit in first year and then in second year as well. But you will hear a lot from me around placements when those start happening. So for our master's students, that'll be second semester this year when we start doing your second kind of prac experience after your childcare experience that Tim will lead you through. And then for our batchies, that'll be really in third year and fourth year, where you'll have lots of wonderful, diverse experiences in different workplaces as you learn about all the different things you're already probably hearing from the team that you can experience and work in as a speech pathologist. So welcome.
Excellent.
I think we've yes. So that we're at the point where, thank you everybody for coming. Not you. I mean, thank you for coming. But in terms of if staff would like to go and do other things until we meet together again.
Or stay. You can do what you
11:30ish,
want.
but you're welcome to stay. Whichever way you want to go. Yes, you can sneak out the back if you like, or pop up the stairs. Thank you, everybody.
See you in a bit. Enough about us. How have you been? How's your summer?
Yeah. What were your flights like?
Exactly. Now we're giving friendship. So what we will kind of want to do is we would love to know, by show of hands, is there anybody here who knows somebody and not like follows on the gram or anything like that, but actually kind of knows their family and that sort of stuff? Or are people relatively new? Hands up if you know somebody in this room well.
Oh, well done, Tim. We do have some people.
Cool, excellent. But apart from the four of you, you're all relatively new to each other. And one of the things that we love about speech pathology, and you'll learn this really, really quickly, is that Adelaide's a small place, right? But speech pathology in Adelaide is even smaller, and we kind of all know each other relatively well. So we'd like to welcome you to that family and to be the first step in terms of you guys getting to know each other. Because if you do know each other, it's going to make your assessment so much easier because you'll be able to cheat from one another. Would you like to... Well, it's better than artificial intelligence.
Oh, shocked! Timothy Kittle. He's joking. Discuss possibilities would be another way of putting that.
Okay.
Wouldn't it, Tim?
Brilliant. Please come in.
Yes,
You've missed all of
please
the
do
all of
come
the
in.
staff.
Please come on
It's
in.
been terrible. We've had the best first half hour,
Oh,
but the rest is rubbish.
You'll just have to catch up with all these other lovely about-to-be colleagues. So, there are lots of ways we can do starting to get to know people. We'll be going into this more in our sessions today, but as you know, all of your lectures will be recorded, pre-recorded, possibly, mostly, for you to watch at your own leisure. So, when it's scheduled as a lecture, that's the first statement around that. It'll happen again and again. You don't have to be here. You can come in to watch it if you like, but even though it's scheduled in a room for a lecture, you don't have to turn up to the lecture theatre to watch it. Unless your topic coordinator has put an announcement on your topic page to say, actually this one didn't get to record, please, it will be available as a live stream, or you can actually come in and be with each other like we are right now, to watch, okay? So, all that is leading to your tutorials and your workshops in your timetable are your absolute number one priority to attend physically on campus. Recorded workshops, EBL tutorials, never recorded. You need to be working together in a group with your tutorial group, so please prioritise attendance. I know it's tricky. We all have busy lives. So, get to know you. That's why I'm saying, so we've got an opportunity to actually physically be together in the one space and chat. So let's do it. We all have phones these days. We all have a lock screen or whatever is, on our background of our phone. Please pull out your phone, and if you don't want to show the one that you happen to have on there, choose another one, it's fine. And you need to find somebody to chat with about what you've got on there and why. And then we'll ask a few people who are really warmed up to share. And Tim and I will share what we have on ours.
Oh, okay. Fair.
So, 5 minutes to find someone and chat. You might need to move.
You're good at people.
Stop. This one's here. Hello. So lovely to hear all of the connections happening within the room. That's gorgeous. So I'll start with helping you to warm up to this by saying this isn't my current one, I have to say, but I am going to add it to my phone background. This is Sally, who's my 4-month-old granddaughter, first grandchild. So this is little Sally with those big eyes who's just learnt to laugh and roll over. So yes, that's little Sally on my screen. And that's, I don't really need to say why, do I? She's there when I need her. Oh, look. Do you want to hear from other people before you show yours?
Please.
So, anybody feel like they're ready to go to share what they've got on their screen and why? Yes, hello.
I'll just start off because it's a lot easier this way. On my lock screen is a photo of me and my best friend. She lives in Melbourne, so I never get to see her. And so whenever I'm having a bad day, I just have a look at my screen and remind myself that my best friend's there if I need her.
That's lovely. I forgot, because I got so excited about hearing what was on people's screens, to say if you could let us know your name and which program you're coming into.
Yeah, of course. My name is Bethany and I'm taking the Masters of Speech Pathology.
Lovely. Welcome. Thank you. It is that person who is our safe person, and many of you may have heard about attachment theory in the past. But that's what we do as adults, is still have our person who helps us feel secure. Doesn't have to be a partner. Doesn't have to be a parent or a caregiver. It can be that person who helps us go, yeah, yeah, we will have another day. It's okay. Lovely. Thank you, Bethany. Nice that you're here. Others who'd like to go next? Yes, hello.
I'm Hannah. I'm doing my bachelor's in speech pathology.
Welcome.
My picture is this waterfall in Argentina that I went to a few years ago, and it's just one of the most beautiful places I've seen. So it's nice to remember there's such places in the world on a dark day.
Yes, absolutely. And that's, like we don't want to have on a, well, I personally, I can't speak for everybody in the room and online watching the recording, but, we like to have things that kind of help warm us inside, that help us feel a little bit grounded. And I know when the nature pictures on my phone's pretty much full now because I'm terrible at getting rid of things, because I like having those ones to be able to go, oh, I just want to flick back to that particular place, like particularly outside places where I can imagine myself there again. And I'm very into mindfulness and meditation and highly recommend it for everybody. And, there's just that kind of feeling. It's lovely. That's beautiful. Thank you. Other ones? Yes, hello.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm also doing the Master's course. And my lock screen is the artwork Goldfish by Matisse, because I have a fish at home. Not goldfish, but
Yes.
trying to come up with some kind of segue. I guess it's also like a nice strengthful thing to have to make a lovely environment that I can go home and sit and watch something today.
Beautiful. And that painting has obviously sparked something in you as well. Beautiful painting. Lovely. Up the back, hello.
Hi, my name is Lauren. I am doing the Master of Speech Pathology, and I have a photo on my lock screen of my partner who's eating pizza, and I caught him off guard, and that looked really funny. So it made his expression look really off guard, so I thought I'll keep it there. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's something about, there's so much about having something on our screens or in our phones, however it is, that can take us to the present moment. And that sounds like you can go back to and be present in that moment of how much you laughed at that moment and what you felt, the connection. That's lovely. Next. Hello.
Hello, my name's Jess and I'm commencing a Bachelor of Speech Pathology, and I actually have nothing on my screen. It's original.
Mm-hmm.
It's the original, and I guess it kind of suits me because I've been told I'm very original. There's nothing copyrighted about me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go into my phone, they will do like a little photo gallery of just some photos that I can swipe through.
Yep.
And it's some memories of my photo gallery that will have family, and it just changes itself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not as brave as Bethany to put up a photo of my best friend because I've actually just moved to Adelaide from rural Queensland.
Wow.
It's a 15.5-hour drive, took 2 days. So I'm not quite as brave to put up something in. It might make me a bit teary. My dear friend, who's like a second mum, she's actually given me a teddy bear full of her cuddles. So I'm still at the getting through it stage.
Yeah, yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's, I think what you've highlighted is just how in this room we are all people with little people inside us who need to know that we feel safe and secure. And and thank you for being brave enough to share that. I love the idea of a teddy bear filled with cuddles. When my daughter was about 8 or 9, she went through terrible separation anxiety around, going to birthday parties. She'd been fine up until that point, and then she was kind of like, oh no, I can't do that. She's a teacher and a mum now, but she just couldn't do it. And so I used to give her something that smelt like me, and like a scarf or something that was soft. But and I think I talked about filling it with love, but I love the idea of talking about filling something with cuddles. That's very nice. Yes. Does anybody else have something they'd like to share? Any of our international students? Hello.
I think you're asking for me.
Not just you. No, I do know we have many international students in the room.
My name's Madison, and I'm starting the master's program. And I guess similarly, my lock screen, well, I have 2. One for more professional settings, I guess, which is flowers, and the other, which is a close-up picture of my dad's face.
Oh, bless.
And that can be a bit overwhelming, maybe. He put it there as a joke when I was in 6th grade. So now, how many years later is that? 10 years later, I feel like I can't change it because I left it there for too long. So every time I update my phone, he has to retake the picture because I feel bad deleting it. But now I have to too. So thank goodness for the update that now I can at least have flowers occasionally. People might be looking at my phone, and it might not be ideal to have my dad's face still.
I really love that.
Thank you for sharing that. I think what's actually really important for us on our first day at Orientation Week is that people have travelled for like long distances. Some of us live here in Adelaide on Kaurna country, but many of us have come from all sorts of different countries. And thank you very much, Jess, for sharing that you did a 15-hour drive from regional Queensland. I mean, that's kind of important, and I think that we need to sort of bear in mind that, yes, we don't know people at this particular point. Plus, as Catherine was saying, lectures are kind of online, but because there are workshops and tutorials that you're expected to kind of attend, it's nice to have kind of like a lunch club, like half an hour beforehand, where people can actually kind of come together. I know that you'll make your own friendships, and Adelaide will become your own, and you'll have your own sort of bits and pieces. But if you wanted to, we have that technology with the Canvas that you can put an announcement out and say, hey, I'm arriving half an hour early for Catherine's workshop. Anybody want to join me at the Market Cafe for coffee? It's actually kind of nice. And not only is it nice now, it's nice to actually bridge those kinds of friendships. I'm really, really good friends with the Flinders graduates that I was sitting in your chair with, by making that sort of bond, we'd arrive half an hour early before our first lecture, because back then there wasn't internet. And so we'd have a cup of coffee first and then come. I know, because you're sitting far away, I know you think I'm in my 20s, but actually this is a very big moisturising routine going on here.
Have you discovered that illuminating under your eye?
No, I've discovered dark light.
Yes.
Cool.
Great.
No, but yes, just something to put out to you. If you wanted to get together, half an hour, it's kind of nice to actually not just be doing speech pathology work, but actually bonding as people. It's actually building your professional network right from the word go. Yeah.
Because as some of us were having, from the speech pathology teaching team, were having a bit of a chat about just yesterday, having that professional role of a speech pathologist that you are here to develop within yourselves. There's a big component of that, which is evidence-based practice. And you'll be learning about that through all of your different foundational topics for bachelor students in first year, through your combined topics that are integrated as master's students in the spiral curriculum, which Tim will go into later. But being able to connect with people and be relational is something that we need to practice. And I can tell you that, in all the years that I've been, and I still work as a speech pathologist in private practice as well, in my own practice, just so that I still have that experience, like Tim said that he likes to have that experience, is I'm a very different person than I was, thankfully, when I was graduating from speech pathology all those years ago. And my ability to relate to people has developed. But I'm actually, shock, an introvert. So this is role development. This is what it looks like, people, is I didn't have to change who I am, but I did need to change my capacity to do things in different settings, yeah? I might still go away and have my time by myself to get my, social battery filled up again and recharged. We all need to do that. But it's, developing that relationality. And that's a lovely idea, let's have lunch together or whatever, fitting in with being on campus.
Nice.
Great idea, Tim.
Shall we move into the nitty-gritty?
Absolutely.
Okay. Time to start thinking about your university degree. Time to get your essentials sorted. So, has everybody linked up to the Wi-Fi? Does everybody know how to do all of that sort of stuff? No, it's really, really simple. You will now, or I know for a fact, you have your Flinders Access sort of name, which is the first 4 letters. If you've got 4 letters, you might have less than 4 letters. That's great too. That means that you're saving a lot of time when you're typing in your email address. If you type in your FAN with your 4 digits, and then you'll know how many people before you've had exactly the same amount. I was looking at some of them. Some of them there's only like 38 of you. That's very exciting. And then it's your Flinders password that you've already got. So you just sort of link into EduRoam, and then bosh, you've got internet connection all the time that you're actually on campus, which is kind of cool. We won't linger terribly much on that because this is being recorded and the slides will already be up on your Canvas site. If you are having difficulty with it, there is actually a website that you can visit and they will talk you through. Very important that you have internet connection while you're here.
And the chats that you've just had, those starting to connect with people, ask a friend. Ask a new friend if you're having difficulty, for sure. And there is the student IT support if you need it. So this new student page, hopefully everybody has had this pop up for them, has information on how to enrol and register in classes. We can assist if there's some block or some reason, most likely when you get into your later, in your subsequent years of study. So please use these marvellous people first. The Flinders Connect and Ask Flinders people are the people who know all about how to help you sort out your enrolment. So that you can get it all started. Has everybody had a bit of a go at that? enrolling in your topics, you're clear about your load. If you're not, again, chat with a friend. There's no such thing as silly questions. You could be like my daughter, who was still at that kind of defensive, late adolescent stage when she started her university degree here in education, and I said, I don't think you're enrolled in enough topics for your first semester. And she said, I'm just because you want to work at the university. And then she ended up having to make that one up. So just, that was just a mum-daughter moment. So, just please do, don't be afraid to ask these lovely people. That's what they do. Student ID card is important for... I forgot to
yes, you must carry it around with you always in exactly the same way that Catherine and I are not.
We're really not a good model.
Okay?
Really not a good model for wearing our cards. As I was coming down the stairs from our offices, which are up on level 7 in this same building, I went, I didn't click my card on. But that's useful. You use it for all kinds of things, such as accessing, photocopying, and etc.
Yeah, and sometimes if you're here past 5 o'clock, security might actually ask whether you're allowed to be on campus. So it's kind of like your documentation to say that you're kind of one of us. So it's just useful just to keep it in your wallet or clipped behind your phone, just so that you can use it when you like.
Yeah. And please do stop us if you have questions whilst we're going through this very exciting information. So please do check.
Yeah. Now, this seems really obvious, but I've already checked and 5 of my master's cohort have not enrolled in their subjects yet. So I'm giving side eye to the 5 of you. I know who you are. But it's actually really, really easy with the speech pathology degree. We don't necessarily have any sort of electives. It's actually really, really key. Both Catherine and I, when we separate a little bit later on, will actually show you a bit of a map of how the year actually goes. Just make sure that you are enrolled in all of those topics. It would be an absolute, you'd save a lot of money by not paying the fees, but it'd be a waste of half a year if you went through and handed in all your assignments, but you weren't even enrolled to actually get a grade for it. So just make sure that you are enrolled. Most of you are, but if you haven't done that yet, please go ahead and do. Again, if you're not sure what it is that you're doing, Ask Flinders is going to get the job done for you, and just get in contact with them, yeah?
Absolutely. So these slides will be posted on your general flow site. So hopefully you will have seen that through logging into Flinders OKTA, or as one Octa, it's what we tend to call it here at Flinders, although as one lovely student once said to me, oh yes, I'll just log into OKTAR. And I thought that was great. There's probably some official name that I don't understand as to why it's OKTA, but that's what it is. So make sure that you can do that. Log in to get to your flow pages, and you should get notifications from, if you're a master's student, from the general master's site, and we have both posted welcome messages for just yesterday, and obviously if you're a bachelor student you'll have access to the bachelor site. Okay, lovely.
Medical students, they're so cute.
So Flinders Learning Online. So how many people in the room have studied at Flinders previously?
Nice one.
Yeah. Lovely. So you will be familiar with Flow or Flinders Learning Online. So as you might hear, as Tim just mentioned, Canvas, that's kind of just the underlying software that has been the change in our Flinders Learning Online interface that we all interact with. So it is the same system, and you can access this way here as well as going through Octa. So your topics are live now. Not everything will be available, and that's because of this thing of us being human beings and, working to get what is essential available in this O week, and then you'll gradually get some other things that are available. But these slides to go back to, as well as information in your individual topic sites, will be available for you to look at as well. So this is just a snapshot of a flow topic site. You'll see that all topic sites have a little blurb or a little introduction to what we cover in the topic, and all of your topic coordinators have also inserted in there a little welcome video for you. So highly recommend that you have a listen to them. They're not hours long, they're just a few minutes each, so that you can hear the essential things that each of your topic coordinators, who are also your main lecturers in the topics, want you to know about the topic. And you might save a lot of time trying to look for something just by listening to that. It will take you through then an overview of what you cover in the topic, who's involved in teaching you, if the topic coordinator isn't the only lecturer in that particular topic, or in topics where you do have the evidence-based learning tutes, the tutorials, you will, or EBL as we call them, you might have tutors who work casually for the university as well. So they'll be on there, and teaching team. The assessment overview, I know that we're all working on finalising some of those aspects this week, so that might not be available this week, but should be next week. Speaking for myself here in my second year topic. Links to all of the different types of supports. If there's one thing that we pride ourselves on being here at Flinders, it's being student-centred. It's part of our philosophy. You will see it on our plans as a university, on those kind of executive type documents that you can access on the website. We want you to feel safe and supported. So there are many different ways that we think about that, and that includes people that you can go and talk to when you're not feeling great. You might want to start with asking to make a time to talk with your topic coordinator, just by email. Most of us prefer getting an email that way. To try and help things out. We have a student engagement coordinator that you'll hear about a little bit more, who's here for a number of the courses within the college. There is up the hill in the main campus is health and disability and counselling, who absolutely provide free services to all of our students for supporting a whole range of things. Finding it tough to be away from your secure base of home, or wanting to find out where you can get cheaper food, or wanting to find out where there is some financial support or advice available. International students will have already had conversations, even if it's via email, with our international team, which we will be going through all of these, but just know that that's what's in your support. We've also included some answers to questions that we've been asked lots before. So this isn't our first rodeo. So we have had a lot of similar questions, and you will be surprised the number of questions that you think, I'm the only one who wants to know this. And then you look at the frequently asked questions and you go, that's what I was wanting to ask. And that's why using the discussion forums that will be available on Flow, highly recommend using those as well. Don't need to be a top performing student to apply for our scholarships, which can be a little bit surprising for some students, thinking it's only on academics. So please have a look at some of these links if you're already thinking about support financially with your journey. You do need to get a virtual parking permit. You've probably already had information about that if you are driving to campus and parking on campus. You might not see anything, but it actually our number plates are scanned when we go into any Flinders car park. So that they know we've driven on campus. And it's better to organise your parking. You can pay for a day when you come in, like if you work out your schedule and maybe it's twice a week that you're coming in, and you might weigh up the costs of doing casual parking versus, as in you have to do it when you arrive on your phone, versus having a whole parking permit as a student. So leave that to you very intelligent people to work out which is going to work best for you. We do now have the train. Excellent service, 22 minutes to the city, they tell me. I haven't taken it yet.
It's beautiful. I actually really, really love the train, and it actually takes you like quite often, if I can, I'll park by a railway station and actually drive in so I don't have to, navigate the car parking system that's actually here. The train sort of arcs around really beautifully just before it arrives at Flinders. It's just a beautiful view. It stops out the front of the Flinders Medical Centre. The best coffee is actually at a caravan right next to the train station. Pick it up and you just walk through the hospital and you can get here. So actually the train is a really, really good option for us being based here at FMC. I actually really quite like taking that as well. But yes, there's that, there's car parks. Bus routes, you're all capable of kind of working that out. The buses tend to sort of stop a little bit further up the hill and then you sort of walk down, which is actually quite nice too. It's just not nice walking uphill at the end of the day. So I don't like to take the bus because I'm an old man. But there's also a loop bus. And so we've actually got beautiful car parking facilities down at our Pathology base as well, and the loop bus will actually take you up and around here too. So there's all sorts of options to kind of get you here. Again, if you're not really sure about stuff or you want to, you can always have a look at the Adelaide Metro website. That will give you some suggestions about how to get places using public transport. But yes, the closest car park to us is Car Park 1, which is great because it's a really decent car park size. And as you've probably seen,
it sure is. It's just if stairs are not your thing, like
yeah,
Tim
true.
said, not just at the end of the day. That's something that I've told. That was in private, Tim. I told you I hate going up the stairs at the end of the day. So I tend to park by the railway station, which is used to be called the overflow car park, but it's not really now. It's kind of like one of our car park options, which is just next to the Oval, and you also go past the train station and the best coffee, and it's flat. But if you're wanting to go up to main campus, that is also where you can catch any of those buses, just opposite the train station. You can catch any of those buses either to Tonsley, up the hill, here, or where else is it?
Just anywhere, really. Just anywhere.
Magical mystery
Argentina.
tour. Argentina. Magical mystery tour. Any questions about transport?
I mean, you all found this here today, so I mean,
Yes.
like pass mark at least.
Absolutely. If I can find my way in Bangkok with students, that's a spoiler. I'll get to that later. Okay. Security, they are available for us. They are here for us. They are here 24/7. If you have a concern, if you're thinking, I don't feel safe walking to my car because suddenly it's dark and I'm leaving to get back to my car or to get to the train station or whatever, you can call that number handily. It's on the back of your student ID. Please do use it. Yeah. They're here for a reason and they are very, very helpful.
Yeah, it's great now, but come sort of end of semester or beginning of semester 2, it gets dark really, really early here. There are lots and lots of spaces and tunnels and all of that sort of stuff. And if you don't feel safe, then that's what they're employed for. So please do use it. It might take them a little while to get to you, so ring them, say 20 minutes in advance, and they'll come to you and they'll escort you to your car. That's what we're here for. Student-centred, as Catherine said.
Yep, and they also are here for if anybody has a mobility issue, for example, in getting up to main campus for something like to the main library or for whatever that is, then you can actually call them and they will drive you up there.
Yep.
Not just as I don't feel like going to the bus, but like if you have a genuine reason, absolutely. That can be arranged as well. Libraries. Just said the word library. The library here on level, which is also on level 5, and I certainly know bachelor students will be doing a bit of a tour later, but they're very easy to find. The library here is great. You will also find that there are, as you get further into your studies, there are things like some of the assessments that we will be asking you, we'll be assessing you being able to use, are available as kits in the medical library here in Flinders Medical Centre, where we are located right now.
Yeah. I love this slide where it says chat with one of our friendly librarians, because as a language person, that sort of implies to me that there are some librarians that are not friendly. So just make sure that you find the friendly ones. Although I've not found a not friendly one. Although I have found one that has looked at me a bit stupidly when I was trying to borrow a test and couldn't get underneath the scanner. A little old man that can't actually borrow a test.
I haven't found any unfriendly ones here.
No?
I have in the outside world.
Right, fair enough.
Have you had a chance asked, are you one of the
One of the non-friendly ones, excuse me, I would like to specifically request a not friendly librarian, because I'm feeling like I need to let that energy in.
I know. That's what I find it great when a restaurant or something has, like the best whatever food. It's like, well, I'm glad I'm not going to the worst restaurant. I mean, seriously. So please, again, this is reinforcing using our security people if you're not feeling safe.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely confidential support and information available if you are concerned and wish to talk about that.
Yeah. And if you see something, report something.
Student Learning Support Service, SLUS, provides one-to-one study support online. I don't speak another language, so I just have to be silly with English. That provides one-to-one study support online or in person, workshops to help you develop your academic skills. Please use them. They are great. Sometimes they have particular sessions. You can easily have a look at which sessions, and you might go, hey, that lines up with when I'm on campus for my EBL tutorial. I can make that 10 a.m. session that they have on how to make the most of your study time, or how to overcome procrastination, or how can I develop more professional language in my writing. So they have many, many ideas and supports. Again, and you can even chat with a learning advisor. Great, in person even, like face to face. So the student success and wellbeing advisors absolutely are there to help keep your studies on track. And if there's anything that I've learned by many years in this job, it's much better to ask first when you're first starting to get that yucky feeling in your belly or the tightness in your chest, or whatever it is, wherever it is that anxiety hits you, because 100% we all have it, because everybody in this room here is a high achiever. And part of being a high achiever is that we experience anxiety. Part of being a human being is that we experience anxiety. So these people are here to help with that. Lots of different options, as you'll see on the slide. In person, online, text chat, use the QR code, etc. Better You, haven't heard this one before. This is a newbie. This is a new one.
We've got Mel coming, so we can just go over and she might be able to talk a little bit about that. She'll
Lovely.
be here in about 15.
Nice. Health counselling and disability services. This is like over 10 years ago. I remember when one of the counsellors came down to meet the orientation group, and I remember them saying that they provided something like 5,000 or 6,000 counselling appointments to Flinders students every year, and I'm sure it's significantly above that now, free. So if there's something that you, and they will see people for issues from that overwhelming anxiety, to help with getting going with your study and motivated, to more significant and major mental health issues. They have all trained social workers or psychologists on their team. and they're brilliant. So absolutely remember them. Also, if there's something that can impact on your study, and again, Mel will talk about this, but such as a mental health condition or a physical issue, an access issue from whatever reasons, making a time to talk with one of the disability advisors is a brilliant move, because they can talk to you about what is available to support you here. So we can flick through these ones. Yes, this is, I'm not going to flick through Christy though. So Christy is our very brand new student engagement coordinator. And as you can see from the slide, Christy Burfield is your student engagement coordinator. Her role is to enhance and support your university experience. She works closely with students to create events, activities, and initiates initiatives that help you feel connected and supported throughout your studies here at Flinders. So if there's something where you think, I wish we had a group that supported us with, then please consider talking with Christy, contacting her via email, as you can see there. So she's here to help. So many different people that you can get to chat with. International students will have already had contact with ISS, and again, another bunch of very friendly. I didn't have to put it on the slide.
No,
but
they're all friendly, so you don't have to tell them that they're friendly.
All friendly. All friendly people who
Unlike librarians.
who can support you to succeed in your studies. If there's something that you might want to know about that relates particularly to your circumstance of being an international student, absolutely do get in touch with them. There's also some nice kind of fun connecting things as well that are available with that for them. As you said, Tim, he just makes you want to go, doesn't he?
There's just something about this guy that is just loving being at Flinders, and I'd love to know what that is even about, but I love it. Yeah. I mean, it does sort of typify, the sort of community that we do have here. Our values at Flinders University are integrity, innovation, courage and excellence. And as Catherine said, all wrapped up within a student-centred experience and with the moniker of being fearless. And so what we want is for you to not only come here and get the opportunity to become a certified practicing speech pathologist, but we actually want you to really experience life here on campus. And as you've seen in your orientation website, there's all sorts of events that you can get involved in. And this is one of the main ones for international students. There is a welcome event. We've got the QR code here for you to register. It's just being held at the Student Hub up the top. It's this Friday, and from what I've heard from previous years, apparently it goes off. So, and I mean, I feel like it's not exclusive. So if you are not international, just pop along. But yeah, look, it's really a fantastic sort of event, and we're really, really lucky actually at Flinders to have a very, very high population of students who come from international countries. It just, particularly for speech pathology, it really heightens the experience. I'll talk a little bit about that with the master's students when we sort of meet back. So we really encourage you to do that. As Catherine said, we've got Mel sort of coming here at the moment. You're probably sitting here thinking, I don't have any sort of concerns here with my health, particularly with my mental health. I've just been accepted into speech pathology. I'm the royalty of the world. This is what I was here for. The reality, though, of course, is that assessments are going to start popping up. You're going to have your lives going at the same time. You're going to have work situation. You're going to have home situation. This could all change on the spin of a pin. So what we do is we make sure that we have all of this stuff here available for you. And so we're just hoping that, although you're thinking, this will not apply to me, and hopefully it won't. But if you do ever need any sort of help, as Catherine said, there's all sorts of touch points that you can have. And Mel's coming down to actually talk a little bit about student success in just a moment to sort of go through. While we're on this particular point, I wonder whether it's been a lot of listening from you and not enough bonding. So I actually wonder if perhaps you could, again, get into groups. The thing that Catherine and I noticed, which we're really excited about, was that different cohorts were chatting to each other as well. So if you could do that, like actually really engineer that, so you've got somebody from the postgraduate, somebody from the undergraduate in a group, and just maybe for the next 5 to 10 minutes, just chat about why you're here, what's actually motivated you to actually join this particular course. Catherine and I are really interested in finding out what brings you here. So there we go, 5-10 minutes or so, and then we'll come back and a bit more chatting.
Lovely.
Hello, everybody again.
Okay, we are living for this energy in the room
Yes,
today, which is just
indeed.
really, really nice. And we just hope that it continues within your workshops, within your tutorials and all of that sort of stuff. Who is going to be a fearless Flinders person and talk about the reasons why they joined this particular course? Oh, come on. Last year's were more
I didn't want to out anybody, but we haven't heard from a whole group of people in the room at all yet.
Who are the whole group of the group?
Got a whole group of people who may or may not identify as men.
Oh, okay, right.
So I don't want to make any assumptions in this world, but we haven't heard from any of those students yet.
Okay.
I'm just putting that out there, and we'd like to hear. I love that you put your hand up first, Jess. So you go first.
A little background on me. My pathway into university was a bit rocky. I didn't do year 11 and 12. So I have spent the last 6 years working in my country town in Queensland. And I was working as a kindergarten assistant at the local kindergarten, and I had a lot of exposure to working with children with autism and ADHD, and also a Russian international who didn't have a word of English. And all these children had some sort of speech impediments or were non-verbal. And I was kind of designated their person, and I felt really helpless because they're just like, oh, we'll just give them some flashcards and they can point to things and it'll be right. And I'm just like, well, that's not enough. Like, it's not enough for me. And there was a visiting speech pathologist, and we were talking, and I would observe what they were doing, and I thought instantly, this is for me. Like, I hate not being able to help them. Like, there's got to be more to it than just flashcards. And so, yeah, that was really
Amazing.
my inspiration for it.
Yeah, excellent.
Communication is the biggest, tool that we have in our life belt. So it's really frustrating and a bit upsetting to see someone trying to express themselves and they can't.
Yeah, amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that really.
Yeah, very noble.
I can see lots of nods around the room. No, seriously, that we all kind of share in that how important communication is.
Yeah, for sure. Anyone else who's brave? Please, at the back, bring it.
Yes, so I've already talked, but...
Oh yes, you take photos of your boyfriend without consent. I remember you. I will not eat pizza around you.
So I did a Bachelor of Music as a singer at the Melbourne Conservatorium, and since then I've kind of done multiple roles, like performing, lead presenting roles. But then I got into a job in early learning centres, doing a mix of like dance classes with like puppets and props and books and stuff. And I really, really enjoyed that and working with diverse groups of kids. I also did like a bunch of electives in counselling, psychology, and teaching the diverse classroom in my Bachelor of Music in third year as electives. But I really love working with children, and I really love designing programs. I'm also a one-on-one voice tutor for
Nice.
primary school students as well, and I've loved that as well. So I really want to, at the moment I'm thinking of going into paediatric or like classroom space with different children, but that could change. I'm just really interested in voice, obviously being a singer, and
Yeah.
just want to keep my options open.
Sensational. Did anybody want to become a speech pathologist because of eating, drinking and swallowing? Is anybody here freaking out and didn't realise that we do eating, drinking and swallowing? Okay, give it to yourselves. All right, genius. Nice.
But thank you for that information, and I'm not going to out this person because I was chatting with the early arrival people, and one of those people told me about their previous music degree and the fact that they teach voice as well. So it's actually quite, we always have at least a few students in the course who have either classical singing, opera singing, jazz like Kat, who have that as their prior qualifications before coming to speech pathology. So, yeah, marvellous.
Shall we hand across to the amazing Mel? Mel, you can introduce yourself, talk a little bit about student success.
Hi everyone, my name's Mel. Before I forget, because I've forgotten in every session I've done yesterday and today, if you go up to the Welcome Hub on the main plaza today, there's a support and services directory which you can pick up. It lists every single support available at the university. There's a QR code that takes you to their website, has a little bit of information about what each service does. So if you like having something kind of tangible that you can put on your bookshelf at home or carry around with you, then I would encourage you to grab one of these. Yes, very important. They're brand new. That's why I'm so proud of them. So, okay. So this is a very, very dull slide about what I do. So I am Student Success and Wellbeing Advisor, and I support your college, the College of Nursing Health Science, and I also support the College of Medicine and Public Health. So if you see me around here in the hospital or over at Sturt, I kind of go between the two and then a little bit up on the main campus as well. And so essentially what this slide is saying is if you run into any problems throughout your journey at uni, if you need any support, if you're feeling at all overwhelmed, or if, am I allowed to swear? Yes. If the shit hits the fan, right, and university becomes your lowest priority, then please reach out to Catherine, to Tim, but you can also reach out to me. What's my job? My job is to really link you to all of these services, whichever is the most relevant for you. So I'll give you an example. You might be neurodiverse, so you're managing that as well as studying. You might get kicked out of home at the same time, and then maybe you're living here from interstate and your mum calls and says your dog got hit by a car yesterday. Are you going to be focusing on your classes? Probably not really. So you can book in with me, come and have a chat, and in that example I would say, okay, well, is your dog okay? Do you need to maybe go home for the weekend? And how can we make sure that your teachers know about that? And do you need any extensions on assignments because you may be a little bit upset? You're about to be maybe kicked out of home. Let's get you up to the Students' Association or to Flinders Living and talk to the accommodation support people, see if we can help you make some steps towards finding a new place to live. And if you're neurodiverse, do you know, are you ADHD? There's an ADHD support group on campus that you can join. Do you have a disability access plan? Let's get you that. Okay, so that's the type of thing that I would do. So I don't necessarily do a lot for you, but I help you make some decisions about some priorities so that you can get your studies done. Does that make sense? Yeah? Good. You can book in with me for in-person appointments, or I'm happy to do phone and Teams appointments, depending on where I am, because I'm kind of all over the shop all the time. And you can scan that QR code, which is also in here, and book in with me anytime, any place, okay? I would say that if you're running into trouble, if you feel like life's getting a little bit wobbly, talk to someone. Doesn't have to be me, doesn't have to be Tim, doesn't have to be Catherine. Just talk to someone, maybe college admin, maybe Flinders Connect. They'll point you in the right direction. You'll hear a lot today and in the coming weeks about support, support, support. We want you to do well. If you start to feel like maybe you're not enjoying the course, or it's overwhelming, or you're not sure you picked the right thing, or just life's getting in the way, then just reach out to someone and say, hey, I need some help. I'm not really sure what to do. I think the last thing I would say about this slide is, Like the first few weeks of uni, especially if you're a school leaver and you're brand new to Flinders, can be quite overwhelming. There's lots of fun things happening. There's lots of free stuff, lots of shiny stuff. When the shine starts to wear off and it starts to become a bit more routine, that can be when maybe you decide that uni's not for you. If you're thinking about that, I would encourage you to speak to someone before you make the decision that uni's not for you, because there might be some options. If you're studying full-time, you might be able to drop down to part-time. If you're working full-time and trying to manage a degree, maybe there's something that you can do to kind of balance those two things. So I would just say, don't just walk away if you're leaning towards that. Come and chat with us. So I know Tim and Catherine have gone through some of these slides already, but I'll just talk a little bit about Better You. So Better You we're releasing this week. It's our new wellbeing brand. We're very, very excited. What we're doing is we're pulling together all of our wellbeing related stuff into one place so that you can find it easily. So there'll be activities, there's blogs, there's social media links, there's resources, there's activities. So you can go to flinders.edu.au/betteryou and you can engage with all of that stuff. And I would encourage you to do it. And not just if you're feeling crappy, like if you've come from overseas or you've come from interstate and you want to make some friends, then go through Better You to some Oasis activities or some FUSA activities or some International Student Services activities. It's not just for when you're feeling not so great, it's for when you're feeling great and you want to feel even better, hence the Better You. Okay, health, counselling and disability. Not sure what had already been covered on this, but we have a fully bulk billed health service, so you can see doctors and nurses. You can bulk bill it to Medicare or to your overseas student healthcare with no other costs. They do get kind of busy, so I would engage with them sooner rather than later, especially if you've come from overseas or interstate and don't have a GP. Maybe just set up that first appointment so that you have a relationship with them. We also have a counselling service. It's a confidential service, it's free. You can have up to 6 sessions usually with a counsellor. So if you feel like that's something that you need to do, you can either email counselling@flinders.edu.au or you can call 8201 2118 and a duty counsellor will get back in touch with you. Usually they'll have a little bit of a chat about what's going on and then they'll book you in to see a counsellor for a full session. And I've met all the counsellors and they're amazing. Okay, and you can do phone appointments as well. So if you can't get to campus, you can do it over the phone. And then like I mentioned before, if you're studying with a disability, a medical condition, a mental health condition, a learning difficulty, or if you're the carer of a person with a disability, you can get an access plan. What does an access plan mean? Who's heard about an access plan before? A few of you. So basically, if I had, let's say if I had some blindness and had trouble seeing the screens up here, then sometimes you could get someone to help you take notes. Sometimes you might be able to have someone help you walk around the campus initially to kind of help you orientate to the campus. If you have an ongoing medical condition like Crohn's disease or chronic fatigue, things like that, you might be able to get some support to have a little bit of flexibility in your attendance. And you might also be able to get some automatic extensions of time or extensions of time in exams, or maybe you'll take your exam in a separate room to other people. So and these can be long-term conditions or short-term conditions. So if one of you next week falls down these stairs and breaks their leg and is on crutches for 8 weeks, you can get an access plan for that 8 weeks, okay? At the moment, disability services are really, really busy. So if this applies to you, I would contact them sooner rather than later. And then once you've got your access plan, you just go, here, Tim, here's my access plan. This is what it says I need. And you don't have to tell him why you've got it. You don't have to tell him about any of your conditions. It's completely confidential. All Tim goes, oh, access plan, okay. Automatic 7-day extension, puts it in flow, done, okay? So you don't need to be going around and telling everybody your story. You just tell disability services your story. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. Oasis, I mentioned a little bit before. I'm not going to try and tell you where it is. If you walk to the Central Library and then ask for directions from there, it's that way. Sorry, it's too hard, isn't it? But it's a drop-in space. It's open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. There's free tea and coffee. There's prayer rooms. There's musical instruments, puzzles. We have Dave, the chaplain, who works out of there a couple of days a week. So if you need any sort of spiritual support, you can go and see Dave. We have a counsellor who works out of that space too. So when you're booked in with a counsellor, you may see Chris over at Oasis. And they run a bunch of activities throughout the week: midday meditation, forest walks, conversation groups. The winter warmers is free soup 1 day a week in winter. They have wellbeing ambassadors. So if you want to volunteer some of your time, they're looking for ambassadors now. Flinders Mates, if you want to meet people, especially for the international students, if you want to meet other people, that's really good for you. But likewise for domestic students, if you want to meet some international students, you can go and engage with Flinders Mates. Who's heard about the community market? Anybody? A few of you. So every Thursday during semester, I think between 11 and 1 or 2, you can go to the community market in Oasis. You can get free fruit, vegetables and bread and low-cost grocery items. You just need to take your own shopping bags. And then, as I said, chaplaincy and a volunteer program. So Oasis would love to see you. Love, love, love to see you. And you can also book out their spaces. So if you have something you want to do that's maybe for this group and you need a space, then you can book it out as well. Okay. I think they mentioned Christy. So Christy's your student engagement coordinator. So she and I kind of work, we do different things, but we both want to support you. So Christy's focus is access and resources and kind of a broad umbrella of making sure that you have things where my focus is a bit more specific to the individual. But if there's something that you feel like you need, or you're not being supported, or you want some activities, or you want some support in that space, if FUSPA, if you want FUSPA to help you with something, then you can speak to Christy. So international students, international student services, they do a lot similarly to what I do, but they can also support you with your overseas student healthcare, your COE. They can potentially point you in the right direction of getting some visa advice. They run a meet and greet service, as some of you will have known. And they're kind of a go-to for everything related to you being here as an international student. So if you have any questions, you can go and speak to an international student advisor. And they're also running on Friday their welcome event. So if you're an international student, you can register at that QR code, and I would encourage you to go. It's a fantastic day. And domestic students, you can go, you just can't get any of the food. So if you want to wander around and have a look at it, you are very welcome. I heard them say that yesterday, but they can't give you any food, unfortunately. Eucharinthi, so you would have heard the acknowledgement, the welcome to country at the beginning. So Eucharinthi is our centre for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander students. So if you do identify as Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander, you can engage with support through Eucharinthi. They have specific tutoring supports, and kind of like you can go in there again and get free tea and coffee and things like that and speak to the advisors there. So if you identify as that, then I would encourage you to engage with Eucharinthi. They really want to see you succeed. Career readiness team. Who's already thinking about, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to get a job after this? Or are none of you thinking about it yet? No? Okay. So on your Okta dashboard, who knows what an Okta dashboard is? On your Okta dashboard, there'll be a bunch of squares. One of them will be Career Hub. So if you click on that, you can go through, you can get career resources. So if you click through to College of Nursing Health Sciences and then through to speech pathology, there's speech pathology related resources. So what kind of industries might be hiring, what kind of job titles you might be wanting to look for when you're coming towards the end of your degree. They also run a heap of careers fairs and workshops and a job application review service. And if you are feeling like you really want to speak to someone about your career outcomes, then you can also book a career one-on-one with them through that website. So I would encourage you, we say this all the time at the beginning of your degree, engage with Career Hub right from the beginning. Many of you won't do it till second or third year, and that's okay. But if you want to start looking at that now, I would encourage you. They also run a kind of a Horizon Awards program where you can do volunteer type things and get points and get an extra certificate at the end of your degree. So that might be something you want to investigate as well. That's it, I think.
Thank you so much, Mel. So hopefully you're feeling now that it's not just that we say that we are student-centred, but we really are student-centred. It truly is about wanting to support you in every way that you may possibly need, which, as Tim said earlier, might not be feeling right now because you're feeling great at the beginning or fresh, but, remind each other that, if one of your pals, one of your new pals is finding things tough, remind them of this. So now it is time to hand over to, so we've done, oops, oh no, spoilers. Spoilers. I'm going to hand over to two of our wonderful students who are going to take you through our very own association called FUSPA.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thanks, Catherine. It's really weird being on this side of the table because I'm usually there. But yeah, so we are a part of the FUSPA Association, so Flinders University Speech Pathology and Audiology Association. So we are a student-run club and we're an academic club. So basically, like you guys, if you're studying a Bachelor of Speech or Masters of Speech or the Masters of Audiology, we really, really welcome you to join us. And we're just going to go through a little bit about what we do. I'll let Sophia introduce herself first.
So I'm Sophia, I'm a third year. I was here not so long ago, but it feels like a long time ago. And I hope you join because we have some great things coming up.
Yeah, and she's treasurer. Yeah. So my name is Erica and I'm the secretary of FUSPA and I am a fourth year student. I'm doing honours as well. So yeah, I've been in you guys' position. So I've just finished placement and Catherine was just talking about swallowing and my placement was all about swallowing. It was great as well. Yeah. So I kind of went through this already, but we are supported by FUSA, so the Flinders University Student Association, so that's the bigger association the uni runs. And our goal is to spread awareness about speech path and audiology, form an inclusive community for connection, and we run lots of fun events. Sophia's going to go around and start handing out some stuff, but this is our committee. So Michaela is our president and she's really, really sorry she can't be here. She's on placement at the moment, like most fourth years at the moment. Yep, and then we've got our vice president, Rosie. She's also on placement, so she couldn't be here. And then you've met me. Got another beautiful girl named Erica as well to make it confusing. She's our social media coordinator. And then you've met Sophia, and we've got Ella, who is our event coordinator, Bethany, who's also another event coordinator, and we've got Mary as our welfare officer. So Michaela really wanted to chat with you guys, so hopefully this video works.
Hi everyone, my name's Michaela Adams. I am the president for FUSPA in 2025, which is super exciting. I'm super excited to be part of this role. I'm really, really sorry I can't be there today. Unfortunately, as you can see, I'm in my placement top, so I am on placement at the moment, which is taking up a lot of my time. But I'm sure Erica and Sophia have you in great hands by doing this presentation for us, which is super cool. Yeah, we have some really cool events coming up in the year, so I would really love to see a lot of you there. And also I wanted to put it out there, if anyone was wanting to be involved in a society, you're more than welcome to reach out to us if you have any questions or you want to volunteer to help out. We have some events that we always need more volunteers for, people to set up, pack down, that sort of thing. So definitely let us know. We've got a big community here at FUSPA and we are super excited to have you all a part of it. Super exciting as well that speech path is turning 50 years at Flinders this year, which means that there are so many more exciting events and things going on around us. So it would be really, really cool to see you all there. So please feel free to reach out to either me or any of the other executive committee, and you're more than welcome to let us know if you would like to be involved.
So yeah, that's Michaela. So yeah, as she mentioned, I'm not sure if Tim and Catherine have mentioned it yet, but no, not yet. Well, it's a really big year. Okay. Yeah, so it's a really big year. It's our 50-year event, which is very, very cool. So FUSPA have been asked to run a few events as well, which we're really, really excited about. This has never happened before, obviously. So our first event for the year is a quiz night. So it's coming up really soon, Friday the 21st of March. We're going to be in the lecture theatre space right down the end of the hall. That's called Lecture Theatre 3. And it's going to be $12 per ticket, and all profits go to Aphasia SA. Does anyone know what aphasia is? Probably not. Aphasia is basically mainly when someone has a stroke, an adult usually, and then they have, because of the stroke, they have language difficulties. So that's this organisation we're raising funds for. So all proceeds will go to them. It's going to be a quiz night, and we're going to have lots of fun questions. There'll be some refreshments there. And the lecturers are going to be there, which is really exciting. We don't usually have events with you guys, so might be a good time to get to know all the lecturers, especially the ones that are kind of more in second, third and fourth year, and just know the faces. So that would be cool. And I'll go through how to sign up for that in a second. Another event we run every year is the FUSPA pub crawl. So that's once per year, and we're aiming for May this year. We'll release more details in a second, but what we always do is we get you guys involved in selecting the t-shirt design. So that was last year's. Last year's we did it on the 4th of May, so that's Star Wars Day. Yeah, so that's hence the shirt there. So yeah, we'll visit a range of venues, and there'll be drink specials, and it's just a fun community event. We also love doing fundraising and awareness events. So we raise awareness and money for speech pathology and audiology related organisations, like I mentioned before, Aphasia SA. So our first one is the quiz night, but today we're also actually raising awareness for Swallowing Awareness Day, which is in March, and I'll talk more about that later. We also do jumper sales, so once per year we'll release it hopefully sometime soon. Crew neck jumpers, hoodies, rugby tops, just in time for winter. They're really cool. Last year's was great. We got lots of fun colours last year, so we'll be aiming for that again this year. We've got really strict timelines on that because we've got to get it ordered and everything, so just keep an eye out on socials, and hopefully it'll be up and running soon. We've also got a big FUSPA ball, so that happens once a year with students, sometimes staff and past alumni. I don't think there were any last year. We'll make sure we invite them this year. Yeah, so it's a really great networking and social event. We get to dress up, it's really fun, get to do a bit of dancing. It's been very successful, and I think the highlight of like uni as well, just getting a bit of a break. So that usually happens sometime in semester 2. And when you get to final year, which you will get there, we also have a grad ball, which I'm really excited for, but yeah. So this is the part where I get you guys to awkwardly get your phones out and scan the QR code. So we just would love if you could sign up to be a member. There's no strings attached really. We just kind of need your names for numbers. So it's a free membership. And yeah, we're always looking for more people, like Mick said, to join us. If you want to be part of the committee, want to volunteer, we'd be very happy to have you around. Or just participate in our events. We would love to see you at all our events. I think one thing I've learned about being in uni now in my 4th year is it's so important to just get out and network. It was really hard in our first year because we had COVID, so that made it a bit hard, but in second and third year it's been really great getting to know my whole cohort. And now we've all reflected and gone, we're not going to see each other much this year, so get together while you can. I'll just wait for you guys to sign up. Let me know if you have any questions. Yes, question. Oh, you guys might not know your student number. That's just right, 000. Doesn't matter. It's actually on your student ID cards. It's like, yeah, it's above your name if you've got your student ID cards, but if you don't stress. We don't really need it, really. I don't know why it's on there. You can just write 0, it's fine. As long as we have your name and email, it's fine. Yeah. I still don't know my student ID. Like, I don't remember it. I don't use it for exams.
Like, just check like the signature game.
Yeah. True. Because yeah, it's kind of just exams. I don't really use it for anything else. It's for exams.
Yeah, exactly. Fans.
Yeah.
Last time I put a name on an assignment either. It's kind of bad. I always did that at school.
Me either.
Yeah.
You have some new followers. I wonder if it's these people. There's still a lot of them looking at them. It's fine. We've got some new followers. 11:28. They're not new followers. All right, is everyone basically done? I see a few more. You can keep going. You don't have to look at me. It's fine. Next thing is, which I've noticed, I'm getting a lot of notifications from new followers, so I don't know if you guys are already doing it, but we have lots of socials. So we've actually just launched our brand new website. And this is going to be our main point of communication. We wanted to kind of be more diverse with our socials rather than having to rely on social media. So we'll have a lot of our events, and our quiz night sign up will also be on there. I haven't uploaded it yet, but I will soon. So yeah, we've got Facebook, Instagram, we've got a new website, and Erica's just started a TikTok as well if you're interested in that.
She is the TikTok queen.
She is the TikTok queen. Yeah.
In Thailand, I can tell you.
Yeah, and yeah, even on our placement, because I've been on placement with her, she was forcing me to do lots of TikToks. So yeah, we would love for you to sign up to at least one of those. That's where our main communication is really.